Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Redevelopment Agency meeting of January 9th, 2008 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. I sort of like it. Play it again, please. No.
Sounded just like it.
These proceedings are being presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, can be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 on the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. This building has a state-of-the-art detection and suppression sprinkler system, so should alarms go off, please evacuate through the exits. Once outside, assemble on the Las Vegas side of the property, and employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will be there to assist you and make it safe to re-enter the building. We have no reason to believe that we'll ever have to use that procedure, but I've been asked to make that announcement each and every time we get together. So with that, we will call item number 3, which is approval of the final minutes by reference of the regular Redevelopment Agency meetings of November 7th, 2007 and November 21st, 2007.
Yes, Your Honor. No addition or deletion. I make a motion for approval of the final minutes.
All right. Let's vote, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Pardon me. Item number 4 is discussion and possible action regarding a First Amendment to Construction Management Agreement for the Fifth Street School Rehabilitation, Phase 3, in the amount of $126,587.48. These are Redevelopment Agency special funds and the related contingency amount with Harrison Associates to provide construction management during the rehabilitation of the historic Fifth Street School located at 401 South 4th Street. This is in Ward 3. Mr. Adams?
Good morning. Scott Adams, the Operations Officer of the Redevelopment Agency. This item respects an amendment to our construction management agreement with Harrison Associates for additional work that was required for construction at the Fifth Street School. Given the Fifth Street School is a very old building, we encountered underground issues with the condition and location of utilities that required a lot of utility rebuild work that necessitated an increase in the scope and the length, the duration of the project at Fifth Street School. This simply extends their construction management agreement to coincide with those dates. Right now, this agreement puts completion of the project right around the end of June 30 of this year. This has nothing to do, I'll just clarify, with the fire that occurred at the Fifth Street School. We will be coming back to you at a later date to do a full report on the impact of the fire and then also how we intend to move forward with the operation of Fifth Street School once it opens.
And we asked you yesterday, Mr. Adams, at our briefing that we could expect the opening of the Fifth Street School sometime this year.
That's correct. Great. And so this is just an amendment needed. This is fully funded out of contingency. I think we were fortunate going into this project to establish a large contingency. We knew this was an old building and it would have latent conditions, and it's fully fundable out of our contingency.
Very good. Any questions of Mr. Adams? Or comments?
Yeah, thank you. Scott, normally we've got some pretty good pictures. This picture is pretty bad, and this project's really starting to look good, so I'd like in the future if you could have some better pictures of the project.
Certainly will, and certainly in our next RDA PowerPoint update, we'll get you some new photos as we progress in the construction of the project.
All right, thank you. I guess. What happened?
Were you ready for motion?
I was busy looking up guacamole. Okay. Do I have a motion, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would follow staff's recommendation for approval of this item, please.
Let's vote. Let's vote, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay.
I hate it.
I'm looking for the next item here. I'm trying to find it. Item number 5, RA1, 2008, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution finding that the project known as the World Jewelry Center, subject to the owner participation agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and Heritage Nevada, Roman numeral 8 LLC, located on a portion of the Union Park property bounded by Grand Central Parkway, Bonneville Avenue, and the Union Pacific Rail Line, is in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the chairman of the agency to execute the OPA. This is in Ward 5, and the item is related to council item number 47, council item number 56, and council item number 57. Mr. Adams.
Scott Adams again. Given this project is very large and complex, I thought it appropriate to provide you a very brief overview, PowerPoint overview of the project. As you know, we have a number of projects that straddle both the RDA agenda and the City Council agenda, and this is clearly one of those. So in order to clarify how this is going to be handled, I thought I'd give you a quick overview, plus to be able to provide you an overview of the terms of what we're proposing and all the agreements that you'll see before you at the RDA meeting and the council meeting. In this morning's RDA session, there will be a resolution, the normal findings resolution that's required by statute, and a motion to approve the owner participation rate. This is agenda item number 5. But it is also an exhibit to council agenda item number 47, which would approve the disposition and development agreement. The owner participation agreement is an exhibit to that. This is how we generally handle these kind of projects. I'll give you an example. The Mulaski Corporate Center and IRS building was handled that way, where we sold them the land and then did an owner participation agreement as an exhibit to the DDA. Then there'll be 2 resolutions, one consenting to the actions of the RDA, and then the other, which is a public purpose resolution making the findings required under the AB 312 law regarding sale of real estate. Let's just step back and look at this project again, the World Jewelry Center. It is a very, very large project. The scope of development is 1,350,000 gross square feet, of which that breaks down into office space, residential condominiums, retail space, a good amount of parking, all contained on site, for a total project cost the developers estimated in the range of $927 million. The disposition and development agreement, deal points, have already been approved by you. You've done this in the previous exclusive negotiating agreement. The land purchase price was set at $40 per square foot, which sets a gross sale price of just over $10 million, and a remediation cost cap of $12 per square foot. If you remember, the Union Park site is contaminated. The site requires remediation, and we've been working with each developer on a cost cap to not to exceed $12 per square foot in remediation cost. We've added additional deal points to the DDA. The earnest money deposits of $400,000 that have been put up will now be non-refundable at the point of the DDA. Construction start schedule is October of 2009, but under the DDA, the developer will be eligible for 2 6-month extensions. Those can be purchased essentially with additional deposits at $52,791 per month. Those will be non-refundable. If the developer elects to take advantage of both extensions, that would be an additional $600,000 of earnest money deposit, which means he would at that point have $1 million of non-refundable earnest money deposit into the project. In the DDA, we are putting a provision in there that there would be a deed covenant that would not allow unrestricted gaming, and that's because there's only one site in Union Park that allows unrestricted gaming. That's site PQ. That is a site that we're currently negotiating the trade of with Live Workforce City for a new City Hall site. And then the schedule for completion of construction under the DDA is August 2012. Under the owner participation agreement, this is the TIF rebate agreement. We've established a split of 50% rebated back to the developer, and 50% kept by the RDA, which is, of course, gets split 32% to the RDA and 18% into the city's affordable housing set-aside fund. And you see this breaks down into a number of different issues. It cannot see the size of the note, the qualified improvements that they've estimated that are eligible for rebate. There's a set of public improvements that are established by statute that the note cannot exceed, and that itemized list of improvements, which is in your backup, is $105 million. That we estimate the TIF note going in as right now to be $81.4 million. Now, this is a rough estimate that gets put into the owner participation agreement, but it gets tighter, more tightly defined as they build the project. It goes on the tax rolls, and we work with the assessor to identify the actual taxes paid at the time it goes on the rolls. That would require this TIF note of $81.4 million, a TIF rebate under that 50-50 split of $8.3 million. That means $5.3 million comes back to the RDA, and $3 million goes into the affordable housing set-aside. Now, like many of our other TIF rebate agreements, owner participation agreements, we're setting a 20-year term on this agreement, but because of when this project might actually get under construction and when the TIF note gets set, it would be the RDA sunset. As you may know, the RDA sunsets under the state law in 2031. So we're unable to extend a TIF note beyond the sunset of the RDA. So that if the start of construction and the bringing of the project on the rolls occurs later than a point where it would mean a 20-year period would extend past, then we could only set a term of the note for through the sunset. It may be 18, 19 years, depending on whatever point the project goes on the tax rolls. There's a considerable fiscal and economic impact on this project, and I think it's important from this point on in the presentation to note some of these impacts, not only for the point that we're making a significant TIF rebate on the project, but there is a difference between what we're selling the project for at $40 a square foot and what the project site has recently appraised at. As you know, we've had a E&A in place now about a year and a half, 2 years, and there was a value on that site at that point, and the value is different today. And so there is a difference between what we set in the E&A and what the value is today. That is, it's somewhat of a write-down, if you want to look at it that way. So what I want to do is read into the record these fiscal and economic impacts for the purpose of establishing for the record the public purpose for making the TIF rebate and for the difference in value that we're selling the project for and what the site appraises for. The project creates 1,600 construction jobs, 4,001 permanent direct jobs when it opens, and at full occupancy, the project would employ directly 4,000 people. And then every project that gets built has this ripple effect or a multiplier effect in the local economy. That is the indirect permanent employment that is listed here, and that's 2,683 jobs. If you total all of this up between the temporary construction employment, the permanent direct employment, and the permanent indirect employment, this project would generate 8,300 jobs, directly and indirectly, in the city and regional economy, for a payroll impact of $892 million. There's other spin-off development. As I mentioned, there's an indirect impact of this project. For every dollar that's spent on construction and development in this project, it creates an impact somewhere else in our economy. And we've itemized that. Because of the scale of this project and what we're involving in it, we wanted to do a little better job in our public purpose analysis on this project than maybe some of the others. This shows you the impact on the hotel, casino industry, retail, office, support venues, and the residential economy in terms of what its spin-off impacts will be. We estimate that value of all that spin-off development at $1 billion, or an additional $114 million in tax increment generated from the spin-off development. So we've really been very conservative in our net benefit analysis of the benefit to the public on this project. We estimate directly this project will create $164 million in present value tax increment dollars. If you take the income stream of the tax increment over a time period and bring that to present day, it's worth $164 million in new taxes. We're saying we're going to rebate 50% of that back to the developer, so we're taking that off the top. That leaves $82.6 million we're going to get. But to be fair, there's a difference between what we're selling the land for and what it's worth today. Now, it's one of those things that when we established the value, a couple of years ago in negotiating with a developer, there's been a rise in prices to today, but we set that value in our former option agreement, the exclusive negotiating agreement. Nevertheless, the state law says at the time we sell the property, we have to disclose to the public what that difference is. That's based on appraisals, $35.6 million. So we net out of our tax increment $47 million. Now, in reality, we get the $82.6 million rebated coming into us, plus the $10 million in land sale profit. So from a cash basis, the city would get $92 million out of this project. But to be fair, we're netting out that difference in value as a disclosure to the public to meet the AB 312 requirements on the project.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry.
Yes,
can I stop him right there for a moment? You used the word conservative, and you know where I'm going to go with this because of our briefings yesterday. The council is very in tune to these numbers that you're sharing with us today. Are these numbers also conservative?
Yes, we've used the highest land value we could use for the current appraised value. We've used their estimate of value. What we found is they tend to be a little lower. In every aspect of our analysis, we took the conservative end of the analysis because we would rather have it come higher than what we're estimating than come in lower.
And, Your Honor, if I may, again, Mr. Adams, in our conversations yesterday, you know that's how I feel. I think they're going to be much higher than your conservative estimates. And I wanted to point out to the council, this is one project at Union Park with this kind of financial and fiscal impact in this area. You've done a phenomenal job, and I appreciate these numbers. Thank you, Your Honor.
The indirect, in the previous slide, I showed you that there was an indirect multiplier effect spin-off on this project. That tax income was estimated at $114 million. So the net benefit to the public, when you net out the direct present value of TIF plus the indirect, is $161 million. We've been looking at this project and trying to figure out where the downside is to the public on it, and there just isn't one. This is one of those projects, because of its scale, its density, intensity, there's a tremendous positive economic impact to the community. I mean, we're putting a very large amount of development on a very small site, and with fairly insignificant in relation to the total impact of the project, commitment back into the project to make it happen. To summarize, there's tangible and intangible benefits to this project. There's 8,300 jobs that would be generated, direct and indirect. There's a payroll impact of $892 million, and there's a net benefit to the public of $161 million. These are the tangible things that you can touch and feel. Intangibly, this project further establishes downtown Las Vegas as a center of world trade and marts. As you know, the World Market Center has been a success. This project would continue that, and it really sets us up for more projects of this kind. What we're seeing is an industry build on the backs of what we have in Las Vegas, the hotel room base of 140,000, the things to do, and the fact that it is a great place to do business, but move us in the direction of new industries that bring a new vitality to our economy. So the next piece is that it diversifies our local economy, and that is one of your council's 8 priorities, is economic diversification. With this project, we'll become the headquarters of the jewelry industry nationally and internationally, along with the furniture industry. So it gives us another economic base to which we can hang our hat on to further diversify our local economy. So with these findings, I'll pull the overhead up and just kind of show you, if we could get the overhead again. Pull that up tight. Got to show you by reference the site. If we could, I don't know if they can bring that color in a little better. There we go. The site that it's going to be built on is, we refer to Parcel E on Union Park. At the north end of Union Park, and then to the left of that, we have the latest sketch of what the project will look like. Again, it's a very, very large-scale project. With all these considerations being read into the record today, staff recommends approval of item number 5, which is a resolution that contains the necessary findings of the redevelopment agency and a motion to approve the owner participation agreement. There is a whole team here in place representing the World Jewelry Center, led by Mr. Robert Zarnigan, who we'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have regarding this project.
Mayor?
Yes, Councilman Barlow.
Thank you. Mr. Adams, thank you so much for the overview of this very beautiful development taking place here in downtown Las Vegas. Would you please, for the record, explain to me how, in fact, this development will be able to roll out its employment plan as well as the prevailing wage?
Well, as you know, this project is taking advantage of a redevelopment agency incentive. And as such, the state law requires that any time the redevelopment agency provides an incentive of $100,000 or more in a project, two things in the state law are invoked. One is the necessity to incorporate an employment plan as they move forward in their project. And secondly, the need to build the project under prevailing wage. So by accepting the redevelopment agency TIF rebate, those two conditions are put in place. So there will be an employment plan as part of this project, which you as a redevelopment agency have established a policy for employment plans that requires the developer to work extensively to hire persons from the redevelopment area as part of their project, both in the construction and in the permanent employment of the project. And then also there's a requirement to meet prevailing wage requirements on the project as well. So again, and I didn't even highlight those benefits in the fiscal and economic impact summary. Those are additional benefits that go along with the use of those incentives at the state level.
And that's the reason why I asked you the question, because as you mentioned in respect to the tangible side of this development, with 8,300 jobs coming into this site alone, whether it be direct or indirect, this is a huge impact to the surrounding neighborhoods and community throughout the downtown area. And that's why I wanted you to touch on that, just so that not only the mayor and council will be cognizant of it, but those who are out there looking for possible employment opportunities to be a part of not only this location in Union Park, but others yet to come. So I appreciate you explaining that.
If you, there is an exhibit to the owner participation agreement that is their employment plan. It is the standard employment plan that all of our owner participation agreements incorporates when a developer receives this kind of incentive.
Thank you.
Very good. And another intangible I like to think about, and it distinguishes this from the World Market Center, is that this is going to be a 7-day-a-week operation with 210,000 square feet of retail. And with the reputation as being the World Jewelry Mart, I believe that we will have, I don't know what Mr. Zarnigan predicts as far as traffic coming into the area there, but I make it an over or under of at least 1,000 a day. over and under is a big thing. I made my state of the city last night. Everybody had bets as to what. Okay, thank you.
Hey, where's my cut?
Mr. Zarnigan, would you like to give us an update from your perspective? I think it would be helpful. I know this morning you're going to have a very important meeting regarding the height of the project, and I want the record to reflect that this council will do everything we can to support your application there. I personally feel that it's a non-issue based on the fact that it's right in the heart of the city, and it shouldn't even be considered. But this is I could tell from, I sense from the council that they consider this to be a legacy project, one that will change the face of downtown Las Vegas, change the face of Las Vegas, that this will be a project that will bring us great distinction. I know that you do everything first class, no question about that in my mind, and if you'd like to say something today, we'd like to hear from you.
Good morning, Mayor Goodman, council members. My name is Robert Zarnigan. I, first of all, want to take this opportunity to thank the mayor and all the council members and the staff and Newland Communities, Scott Adams and everyone have really been incredibly diligent and helpful in welcoming us and making sure that we do our work as quickly as possible, which is really appreciated. I've worked in other cities, and sometimes things take so much more time, and so I was really pleased with the way everybody's really helped us through this process. The World Jewelry Center project will have three components: the offices, which will be condominiumized and sold to the tenants. These are basically only to the trade. These are manufacturers, distributors of gem jewelry, color gemstones, as well as pearls and watches. We have about a third of the offices committed at this point. We hope to have, by the time we start construction, some 55% of the office spaces sold. Now, these would be with deposits, and so it would give us a lot of, make us feel better knowing that we're really walking in a very strong footing as we go forward. So, we have at this point some over 100 tenants that have signed up with us. There's a gentleman, our managing director, Mr. Bill Boyajian, who is one of the leaders in the industry, who has really been working tirelessly the last year and a half to obtain these tenants, and my hat goes off to him because it is not an easy job. 1,000, 2,000 square foot tenants to fill up the building, and he has not only gotten those, but also a number of half a floor, full floor tenants. So I'm really, really pleased about that. With respect to the residential component, the condominiums, these are going to be ultra luxury condominium units. 98 units of them. These are truly spectacular. I've seen some of the nicest condominium units in town, and there are some really beautiful ones, but I assure you these will be as outstanding, if not better, in their quality, their layout of their floor plans, in their just the way we do things. The project will also have a private business club, which will be a restaurant, bar. It'll have meeting facilities and so on, mostly to the trade in the building, as well as our residential and our retail tenants. We will have a few outside people also We have a beautiful swimming pool, which will be outdoor swimming pool with cabanas and, food and beverage outlets and so on. There'll be a number of restaurants. There'll be a number of other amenities and facilities. The residential condominiums will have full-service amenities such as housekeeping services, room service, just really like a five-star, world-class residences. And as far as the retail, we have a number of tenants that have signed up at this point, although we have not really solicited anyone. These are people that have come to us, and of our total space, we hope to be able to attract some great retailers from all over the world. We want to really create a very nice atmosphere where people feel comfortable coming in. We will have valet parking, free valet parking, so they can just drop off their car if they like to and go into the retail center. By the way, we like to call it a jewelry center. We don't call it a mart because it has a different connotation that is cheap and so on. And while we will have all kinds of different price points for every budget that you can think of and every type of gem and jewelry and pearls and watches that you can think of, we want to make sure that it's of high standards in terms of the way the tenant improvements are done to the spaces, in terms of the way that our tenants treat the public, that there is integrity in what they do, and that there is a place that makes them feel really comfortable just to come and even window shop if they like to. So we want to make it a very friendly place, and we certainly hope that the locals will come in and really enjoy it, and I'm sure that they will. Anyway, having said all of this, but the most important is that as we move forward, I want to assure you that the way that I have operated for the last 30 years that I've been in this business, development business, I try and do things with utmost integrity and with transparency. You will know all the blemishes and all the good things as we go along together on this journey. But I will be very honest with you and let you know exactly where things are so that there's no surprises for you or for us. And that's the way that we have operated the last year and a half, 2 years with the city and the city's redevelopment agency. And as we go forward, I really think to God and pray to God that they will keep all of us healthy and strong, and that we can do good service to our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Any questions of Mr. Zornigan? All right, thank you. I'll allow it. Yes, this gentleman would like to speak.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you. My name is Daniel Parks. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the developer. And I just wanted to augment a little bit on some of the numbers that Scott presented to you. With a project of this size, it may strike some of the members of this body and the public that a $400,000 liquidated damages commitment at this point is not a lot of money. And I just want to let you know that to this date, we've spent over $12 million on plans and marketing and all of the other costs associated with this project. We are fully committed to making it happen. There is no turning back at this point. With your help, with the continued support of the staff and Newland communities, we will make it happen.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Yes, sir? Thank you, gentlemen.
Tom McGowan, Las Vegas resident. Just one relevant question of the applicant. Are those diamonds new or used?
Are the diamonds new or used?
Yeah.
I don't think there's...
Still about there, so quantity. I strongly recommend you approve this remarkable project. It's long overdue. And in which case, Antwerp, Belgium, eat your heart out.
Thank you very much. I don't disagree with that. All right. If there aren't any questions, Councilman Barlow, your motion, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I just would also like to thank Mr. Zahn again so much for bringing this beautiful project to our downtown area. I am totally confident that you all are in with both feet on the ground and moving very fast forward ahead to make sure that this happens, and I'll do everything within my power to assist you in that process, because I truly believe in this project and want to thank you so much. And also want to thank Mr. Scott Adams as well for the diligent job that you have done, you and your staff, your entire staff. I have to give kudos, Mayor, if you will, to the Office of Business Development. I've seen this department start off at a very slow pace, and to see where you all are right now, you should be on a NASCAR track, because you are doing a very, very good job on behalf of this entire mayor and council. And if I can speak on behalf of the mayor and council, you're doing a wonderful job, you and your entire staff, and I hear nothing but good things from you. So please continue to keep up the good work, because you're truly assisting this council in making its true vision and dreams come true. So with that, Mayor, I would like to move for approval, subject to all staff's conditions.
Thank you. Well said, Councilman. Let's vote, please. Post. Motion carries. Thank you. And if you folks would call Ms. Murphy, if you would be kind enough to call my office after you have your meeting this morning and report as to our progress, please. I really do want to stay on top of this one. Thank you. Okay, item number 6 is citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Redevelopment Agency. No subject may be acted upon by the Redevelopment Agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please step up to the microphone, give us your name, and we'll put a 3-minute timer on it, because we want to start our morning calendar on time. Yes, sir.
Tom McGowan, Las Vegas resident. May I have the overhead, please? You already know about Soul City. I see the Ward 5 representatives in the other room. A little louder. And L'Chaim, which is a venue for the combined services to the Jewish community and the Muslim community. They'll either get along or they won't survive. My guess is they'll get along very well. And on the overhead, you see Club Freedom USA, which speaks for itself. You're well acquainted with that. Below it, you see the front facade, which is a warehouse, a old garage. And upon entry, if you know the right words, you enter the speakeasy. And this is called the Speak of the Devil stage. Sort of devil may care. If you want to have fun, that's the place to do it. This is located in the downtown entertainment district. All it needs is your supportive endorsement. Harmony House is a barbershop times 10 with an actual barbershop quartet. You need not have the barbers sing, because some of them don't necessarily sing very well, but it will have entertainment, including a pedicure on stage during dinner. The Big Easy is a tribute to the sister city of Las Vegas. By your own ordinance, that city is named New Orleans, Louisiana. So it is part of the NOLA project. NOLA meaning New Orleans, Louisiana. Talk about local involvement, local patronage, and local career building and employment, full employment, permanent. More than 500 jobs in this little complex alone. All of this is available to the city council and to the residents of the city of Las Vegas. Somebody once said the best is yet to come. I would assert that it's here right now. And the turnkey on this will be your supportive endorsement, unanimously. Anytime you're ready, you can push the switch. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to be heard during citizens' participation? All right, seeing none, the redevelopment agency meeting is adjourned. Our morning session for the city council will begin at 9 a.m. sharp this morning. Thank you. Beth?